Washington, where protesters and demonstrators have been self-organizing and rising up against injustice in the Arab world. Some people have been wondering if Americans are ever going to wake up to the injustice going on in its own borders and be fed up enough to spring free from our own tyrannical federal government. Well, now there's a group who's trying to make that happen. A collective of radicals is planning a protest in Washington with a really ambitious goal: to overthrow the U.S. government entirely. The group, which actually calls itself Operation American Spring, plans to head to D.C. on May 16th to set up camp on the Mall. And they say they'll stay there until President Obama and other top officials resign. The group is headed by a retired Army colonel named Harry Riley. The 76-year-old says his demands are bold, but ultimately he wants to begin a constitutional restoration through the resignation of key leadership. He's hoping the protest will cause Congress to stand up and kick Obama out. This is someone who served the U.S. military in its top ranks, mind you. And now he's fed up with the crooks in office whom he calls just flat out lawless. Riley says between 1.2 and 1.8 million people are already mobilizing to flood Washington on the date of the march. That's probably a stretch, honestly. Why? Because most Americans are still too comfortably numb. They have their TVs and their iPhones and Facebook and cheap clothes at Target, so they're still asleep to the fact that the country and their future is being stolen right out from under them. Our politicians, bankers, and corporations are all colluding to take that comfort away in their never-ending quest for more billions. So more and more Americans are bound to get more and more uncomfortable. And in fact, with Occupy and hashtag activism and other grassroots movements popping up, indeed it does seem like some Americans are starting to wake up out of their corn-fed stupor. So, if you're already awake and angry, you should definitely check out Operation American Spring's website at oas2014.com for information on how to get involved. It might not be as huge as the Colonel wants it to be just now, but it could be an indication of a real American spring to come. Tonight, let's talk about that by following me on Twitter @TheResident.